really fun and productive method to take yellowfin croaker in the Southern California coast is by throwing a small lure. It really works well, and it's lots of fun.
Deception jig, man, and that thing hit the bottom, twitched it once, and it was.
What are we doing here? Another one? Your dad's going to be very proud of you. So Alyssa continues on her fish. It's really close here. Oh, wow. Nice fish. Another one, Alyssa. Number 2.
If that garage door has become a pain in your arse, there's only one man to call, and it's Joe Welker, your garage door man. The tax man, Tim Marquez, will help you net your tax refunds. He's been doing this for 35 years. You can trust the tax man. Make sure you keep your roof watertight with Pelican Roofs SoCal so you can get back to catching more fish. And you can trust Mario Vega with your estate planning. Make sure your rods and reels and fishing equipment go to the right person when you plot.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, make sure you give John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. There's nothing like fishing with Captain Daniel Hadaway on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. And the El Patron, headed to Catalina Island every single day out of Long Beach Sport Fishing.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This lovely Thursday morning, I am feeling so blessed to be with you all on this gorgeous day. Just look at that ocean. It is so beautiful here this morning, and man, I'll tell you, we got a lot to talk about. There's bluefin tuna. They continue to bite. It's really been outstanding fishing, but we do have some wind in the forecast. I'll talk to you about that as we go through today's report. Some outstanding long-range fishing continuing, and we're seeing some pretty good signal and sign in terms of our bottom bite just about everywhere. Ensenada still cooking and really producing some outstanding fishing. Tonight, we are live at Island Fishing Tackle in beautiful Carson, California. You're all invited. There is a lobster seminar. It starts at 6 p.m. tonight with our friends from Promar. We'll be broadcasting it live in case you can't come down. But if you want to come down and put a big smile on Sam's face and yours truly, we'd love to hang out with you. You can bring some food if you like and have your meal while you watch the seminar. That is all great stuff. And November the 1st, right down there at that tower on Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway, we'll be here for our Surf Fishing Festival. So much going on. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Sun's coming out. It's gorgeous. It's not very cool at all. I mean, it's just perfect air temperature, and this ocean is absolutely beautiful. If you don't mind, hit that like button. Share these videos everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to the Freeman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable little bell, and you'll be notified when there is new content. Let's give it the old Tootsie. Oh my goodness, that water feels nice and warm. There has got to be some nice surf fish somewhere here this morning. I know there's a corvina swimming around, and one of these mornings when I'm actually doing this, you're gonna see a corvina in the camera swimming by. Will it be today? It doesn't look like it, but man, it is absolutely beautiful here this morning. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. We'll see you all tonight at Island Fishing Tackle, 6 p.m. once again. All right, let's jump into it with you because so much to talk about. Let's start you out on the long range scene and tell you that the Independents at this very moment, right now, are catching wahoo. Another great day it looks like it's going to be. Yesterday they had some really big wahoo, and they also had some nice big flatheads, some good Dorado fishing along with that who fishing, and they're concentrating their efforts on the who again today. The long range guys, now we're talking 8-day trips, 10-day trips like that right now. It just provides you with such variety during this time of the year. Wahoo, Dorado, Yellowfin, Tuna. There's some really crazy marlin bites that take place on the long range boats. It's all catch and release, but sometimes you'll have 12, 14 more fish, marlin going at the same time. It really gets incredible. And all the boats, all the long range guys out of San Diego, they do such a great job, and they're all catching a variety of different fish. Some days they'll focus in on the wahoo, some days they'll focus in on the yellowfin tuna out of the Lejos Rocks. That bite's been excellent on, I want to say, 40 to 100 pound yellowfin tuna. Some guys are out doing that. Other guys are on the beach catching copious amounts of yellowtail. It's all really great fishing right now and not slowing down one bit. We'll take you down now to the beautiful coastal town of Ensenada, Baja, California, 70 miles below the border. It is absolutely beautiful there, and the bluefin tuna bite has been outstanding, and it remains that way. Excellent fishing there out of Mara's Sport Fishing, and you know, not only are they catching the bluefin tuna, but as you can see, some really good bottom fishing. Check out those viejas. Big old sheephead, some big whitefish, excellent bottom bite down there if you want to focus in on that. And of course, also that bluefin tuna bite, outstanding. Bluefin in the 12 to 30 pound class for the most part. Sometimes you'll find some bigger fish, but the vast majority are those size fish. And down there in Ensenada, they're rolling up on foamers of fish, big areas of bluefin tuna, and they're tossing a small shiny jig, Colt Sniper, Daiwa Sakana, something like that. Deception jig from Promar works really, really well. All those jigs are working excellently, and the Tuna Riot Poppers continue to impress. You get a lot of bites on that lure, so outstanding fishing for our friends down in Ensenada. That includes Popotla, which is further to the north. It's just below Rosarito Beach, and there Carlos Cortez and Cortez Sport Fishing, they've been doing a number on the fish and continue to do so. Some really excellent fishing going on. Can't beat that. And of course, that's a preview of what's to come here. There's also some pretty good yellowtail fishing going on down there right now. We checked in with Captain Ihara, the first female sport fishing captain in Ensenada just the other day. Lucky Sport Fishing operates out of Ensenada if you'd like to fish with her, and I highly recommend you do that. But she had a 4-hour trip and had yellowtail and all kinds of great bottom fish like sculpin and whitefish and that kind of stuff. Really excellent fishing, no doubt about it, south of the border, and we are loving that. All right, let's stay south of the border, but now we're going to talk bluefin tuna. First of all, we check with our friend Jeff Lingle, and Jeff fishing down there at about 160 miles in a yacht. He runs out of San Diego, and man, he had some really good fishing, but boy, he got his butt kicked on the way home last night. The wind came up almost 20 knots for Jeff. He got up toward Ensenada and the winds kind of subsided and gave him a little bit of a break, but it didn't take away from the magnificent trip. He had 3-day trip, 6 guys. They had 17 bluefin tuna, 6 of those fish over 100 pounds. So there's big BFT down even further, and it's continuing to bite. He had a 145, a 140, a 137. Also 7 yellowfin tuna, 5 dorado, 10 yellowtail, and 3 white sea bass. Typically, Jeff will fish offshore down there below San Quintin and then go in on the beach and try to catch some yellows and sea bass and maybe even halibut, and he's been very successful at doing just that. So some outstanding fishing down in that neck of the woods. We come up here to San Diego, California, and we're going to check out what's going on out of there in the bluefin tuna bite. Well, I say San Diego, let's just kick it on up to San Pedro, because many of those guys are out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank where it's windy and breezy and kind of snotty out there here today. We'll get into the weather in depth there in just one more second, but it's been great fishing out there, and not only on the bluefin tuna, but there's been some really great hits on the yellowtail. There's yellows out on the bank, there's yellows at San Clemente Island, and some of these fish are big. Most of them are big. Really great fishing going on for forkies and for bluefin tuna. That bluefin, again, in that 10 to 30 pound range, as you see on board the Pacific Voyager. The boys bouncing bluefin tuna on. That third one's going to get its head, though. Once they get their head, you're in for a little bit more of a tussle before you can throw them on. Pretty cool stuff, if you ask me. Now, sometimes, a lot of times, it's flyline fish. So you're getting those fish on 20, 25 pound fluorocarbon, good hot bait. Make sure you change that bait regularly. The bait is iffy all the time. Sometimes it's just really crappy bait, and you're gonna have to work really hard when you have that kind of bait. Sometimes the answer can be to go to a sinker rig and fish like a 2 or 4 ounce chrome torpedo sinker, especially if you hear the guy upstairs, the captain, of course I'm talking about, saying, hey, we've got fish under us, they're down there at like 100 feet, 120 feet, 150 feet. Then you should think about going to a sinker rig, because the key to getting a bite out there on these fish when you're fly lining is get your bait away from the boat. That becomes a problem when you have that bait that is all beat up and really not in all that great a shape. But you can sink that bait down on a sinker and get a bite in most cases, and in a lot of cases you can up your fluorocarbon to 30 pound to 40 pound and do pretty darn well. So really excellent fishing going on. Let me give you a few of the scores that we have here. Tribute limits of bluefin tuna. The Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. Jerry Wade, who works up in the ticket office there, great guy, was on board. He said it was phenomenal fishing. They got done early on that bluefin tuna, and they could focus their attention on some nice big sheephead and yellowtail on board the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing. They continue to run open party day trips out of 22nd Street. Man, you ought to jump on one of those. Apollo, Seaforth, limits of bluefin tuna. Polaris Supreme, limits of bluefin tuna. 7 dorado, 10 yellowfin tuna. The Amigo, we love the Amigo, another boat out of 22nd Street Landing. They had limits of bluefin and 9 nice yellowtail. Top Gun 80, limits of bluefin tuna, 75 fat yellowtail. How on earth can you beat that? Really great fishing. Now, our full day boys have been having a little bit of difficulty here for the past 2 or 3 days. You go back 4 days, we had wide open fishing for the boats that leave in the morning and come back that very same evening. It was fantastic. Limit style bluefin tuna fishing, but the fish just got off the bite here. They've been having some difficulty finding the fish, and when they do find them, they don't want to bite. The Grande yesterday, Scott Buchert was on that trip. Scotty checking in, letting us know. He said it was a tough trip, Phil. 2 bluefin, 2 yellowfin tuna. Over on the San Diego, they had a bluefin and 8 yellowfin tuna. So very tough on that full day range. But man, that changes like a lightning bolt. It's slow one day and then boom, you get that hit on limits of bluefin tuna. You can find some really excellent fishing. I know the Grande is talking about going back to the Coronado Islands where you will need a passport to fish. There's been some yellows there and that kind of stuff. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. All right, weather. Let's talk about weather out there on Cortez and Tanner Bank. Windy right now, fishable, no question about it. Tomorrow, looking beautiful. Friday morning looks like it's going to be gorgeous out there on the bank. Not perfectly calm, but just very little wind and a little residual swell, and it should be a great day to be out there fishing. Then by Saturday evening, afternoon, it really starts to blow. And if the forecast holds, Sunday is going to be miserable out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank. We'll continue to monitor that for you, but that forecast has been pretty steady now for several days. They are calling for a lot of wind out there on Cortez and Tanner Bank. It may be a day that will be unfishable out there. We'll keep you informed about that.
Hey, I'm just breaking in here for a moment because that is Saverio Simone. He just got back on the El Dorado on a 1.5-day trip. He said when they got out to Cortez Bank, they started catching some fish on Colt snipers in the dark. Then it turned into a steady plunker kind of by 25-pound fluorocarbon number 4 circle hook, and that did the job in the afternoon. They also topped off with some nice whitefish and sheephead. Really appreciate you sharing, my friend.
Coronado Islands, where the Grande and several other boats are going to be focusing their attention, has produced some yellowtail, not a lot, a little bit of yellows here and there, and also we continue to see a bunch of bottom grabbers. That kind of thing has been really, really prevalent in that zone. Also, at San Clemente Island, we see some good hits on the yellowtail. Dropper loop fishing with live or fresh dead squid has been a great way to make it happen for you there. There's also some excellent calico bass fishing. The Fury had limits of calico bass on their most recent trip and one yellowtail, but that yellowtail score is volatile there. One day you get one yellow, next day you get a dozen yellows. It can be really, really good at times. We'll continue to watch out. The El Patron continues to fish Catalina Island, and at Catalina Island we see just a little bit of yellowtail, really not all that much. A few yellows bouncing around. Every once in a while you'll get a pretty good hit on them. You see some signal on it. There's a little barracuda. Calico bass fishing's been tough. The island's been pretty tough here. If you drop down to 12-pound fluorocarbon, you got a chance on those calico bass. You can make that happen if you drop down to that. But overall, it's been tough. Mackie, are you here? Are you in the live chat this morning? I hope so. It was great to see you over at Island Fishing Tackle last night for a special edition of Tackle Shop Confessions. He was on board the Sport King. He said they had one yellow on board. He caught a couple of short barracuda. He said overall, very tough fishing there at Catalina Island. But man, we're hoping this gorgeous weather gets it kicked in the butt just a little bit more. That would be really nice. www.longbeachsportfishing.org to get on board the El Patron. Tremendous bottom fishing up there in the Channel Islands right now. It has been spectacular. It's been really, really great fishing there in the Channel Islands for lings and big reds and so much more. They're out of Oxnard, they're out of Ventura. Also up there we see really great fishing in Santa Barbara. It's all been really excellent bottom fishing. We had a hit on the white sea bass about 5 days ago on the Endeavor. It's the exception, not the rule right now. It's been scratchy for big halibut scores or big sea bass scores, but steady rock fishing. Island Spirit up there out of beautiful Ventura. Sport fishing will be out for the rest of the weekend, and you're going to want to join them on Sunday. Kids Fish Free. They do it right on the Island Spirit. 805-676-3474, or you can visit them at venturasportfishing.com. Highly recommend you do just that. Up there in Avila Beach, Morro Bay, San Francisco, great rock fishing going on in all those zones. Also inside the bay up there in San Francisco, we continue to see some really good striped bass fishing along with some halibut up in that neck of the woods. 1/2 and 3/4 day boats from San Diego all the way up to Ventura. We're talking mostly bottom grabbers right now. There's a little bit of bass, but you know, a little like that. Very, very few. Bass right now, you see sculpin, whitefish, sheephead. If guys want to focus on the deep water cod, they do really good on that from San Diego all the way up to the Channel Islands. That's pretty much what we've been seeing. Now, the native sun, don't count them out on the halibut this weekend. When they get out, they have managed to catch anywhere from like 5 to a dozen halibut on most of their trips. They've been doing really good on that, so let's keep our eyes on that. A lot of whitefish for the Monte Carlo, same thing for the Victory, and a lot of other boats focused in on mostly the bottom fish right now. In the Southern California surf, man, there is still too much debris here. That last rainstorm we had just produced so much debris, and we still have that going on here in Surfside, California. It will be all cleaned up by November the 1st. Yes, you have my word on that. Should be all cleaned up by then, no problem at all. And once again, it does present some problems, at least where you find all the debris. It's tough to fish in those kinds of conditions. Down there around Dog Beach, our dear friend Jeff Perea went down there looking for some cleaner water because he looked around here and found it to be pretty darn dirty. He got down there and caught 7 barred perch. Then he came to Anderson Street and Pacific Coast Highway, where you see the tower down there. He came there and got a walleye perch. But once again, it's tough to fish in these kinds of conditions, so we'll keep our eyes on it for you very closely. A little bit of corvina down that way around Huntington Beach Pier. We've seen some there. And then as you move up toward Long Beach and surrounding areas, we continue to see some pretty fair pokes at some yellowfin croaker and occasional halibut up in the Santa Monica Bay, the El Segundo area, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach Pier, still a few corvina up there in that neck of the woods. Don't you dare drive by Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, because they've got all the bait, tackle, and everything you'll need for a successful day in the Southern California surf. There is no doubt about it. And they also have everything you'll need for fishing the islands, fishing offshore, big fish, bait, and tackle in Seal Beach, California. You'll love it. Walk in there and tell them hi for Freedman Adventures. All right, my friends, we'll watch it all very, very closely, but we're not finished today because we come back with a live show tonight, Lobster Chronicles special edition. Whether you like lobster hoop netting or not, it's a lot of fun to jump on and participate. I am not sure if there's giveaways tonight. I think there is some giveaways tonight. So another reason for you to join us either live right here on Freedman Adventures, or you can come down to Island Fishing Tackle and hang out with the guys for a couple hours tonight. It starts at 6. You're more than welcome to come in and take a look at the store from 5 to 6 or whatever time you choose, or you can show up at 6 o'clock or past that. I'm going to say we should be finished by 7:30 for sure. So it'll probably be, a 6 to 7:30, or maybe we get started a little bit later. But look for us here tonight at 6. And then November the 1st, we've got our surf fishing event here. Don't forget, 5-day trip on the Independence. We sail on April the 14th. Next year, it's going to be a great trip, and you are all invited to join us on that trip. So much going on. So blessed to be with you. Can't thank you enough for all you do for Freedman Adventures, pushing us to astronomical heights in terms of the views and all the likes and everything you do for us. And I just want you to know how deeply and how much I completely appreciate you. Have a great one, and I hope to see you really, really soon.